Yo, what is going on, guys? Houndish here, and thanks for dropping by today for another Destiny video. And today, I wanted to talk a little bit about some Taken King preparations. A lot of people have been talking about this, obviously, with the Taken King coming, but I wanted to kind of contribute a few ideas that I have as well. Kind of open up a forum as well. If you guys have any ideas of things you should do to prepare for the Taken King, then don't forget to drop them down below in the comments. But firstly, the first thing I have to say before we get into this is not to delete a thing. So don't delete any weapons that you feel you may want, but you're kind of anxious and you're deleting because of vault space or anything like that, because we just don't know exactly the potential use of particularly exotics in the Taken King. Some we know will be there, some we know won't be there. There are others that we're not entirely sure of yet, so just don't delete anything yet. Plus we got a whole load of vault space coming up in the Taken King as well, so if you do want to keep a collection of year 1 weapons, raid weapons, anything like that, then it should be pretty much perfectly possible, at least at the start of the Taken King. So that is that. So next, let's move on to materials. Here's the really boring stuff. So as we know, it's a good idea to have your materials max: Spirit Bloom, Relic Iron, Helium Filaments, and Spin Metal, of course, because I'm sure we'll be needing plenty of it to level up weapons. So it's easier to have lots of it there than to not. So try and max those out. That'll be pretty useful at some point. Up next, weapon parts. Now, weapon parts in the House of Wolves were pretty important because we did a lot of reforging with them. Before House of Wolves, I had about 1,500, and then something like 4 weeks ago, I was down to literally less than 100 weapon parts. So make sure you have plenty of weapon parts. They're going to be very useful, obviously leveling up a lot of new weapons. So some good ways to kind of save weapon parts is make sure you've got free slots on your character. So as you can see here, my weapons are absolutely maxed on all slots. This isn't the best idea if you want to collect weapon parts, because you miss all of the little greens and stuff that you pick up, and those do over time contribute to stacking weapon parts pretty well. So try and have spaces right there. If you're still struggling, you can use things like your spare weapon cores to go buy stuff off Variks and just dismantle, which also gives you motes of light, so that's pretty useful. Also, Brother Vance and other vendors, if you've unlocked weapons for the week, you can buy them and dismantle them if you're willing to farm the glimmer and you really need them. That's what I've been doing to get these weapon parts. So that is weapon parts. Make sure you've got some of them. Okay, glimmer consumables, axiomatic beads, house banners, and also your royal amethysts right here. So try and stack as many of these as you possibly can and have max glimmer when the Taken King comes out. We're going to be needing plenty of glimmer to buy stuff, upgrade stuff, and things like that. So max glimmer and spare glimmer in the vault or in royal amethysts or whatever is going to be really, really damn useful. So make sure you've got all of that stuff available. Okay, next, get motes of light. As you can see, I've got quite a few motes of light right here, which I've mostly traded back from things like Ascendant Shards and Radiant Shards from the raids. Motes of light are going to be very useful in the Taken King. We've heard things about upgrading things with motes of light. Of course, there is Xur and other kind of purchase methods that will probably need motes of light. So lots of motes of light is definitely a good thing to have. And we can assume that Ascendant Shards, particularly from the stream, he said if you're still stacking any of these old shards, which kind of confirms that they probably have absolutely no use, which we could imagine was the case anyway. So turn those into motes round at the speaker if you're needing motes. Okay, next, stacking public events. So this one has kind of been spoken about a little bit in the community over the past couple of weeks. As you can see, I've only got a few right here, but these give you a little bit of XP. So if you're on your main character that you plan on leveling up the new subclass and getting to rank 40 and all of that, absolutely stack these public events in here, and they'll give you a little bit of XP each one that you open after the Taken King launches. So that will be useful to help to get your character to the next rank. And the next thing you want to do is stack those 5,000 XP bounties, 100 rep bounties from the Vanguard or the Crucible, doesn't matter which ones, until you've absolutely got them max. As you can see, I've got a few here, some that aren't, but those 100 rep ones will be pretty useful for helping level up your character as well. And we can assume that these bounties are still going to be there and still be compatible. So if you complete all of these and just leave them there, you should be able to turn them in when the Taken King drops, which is going to be a pretty good boost towards you leveling up your character, as well as any factions and things like that. So the next thing I did want to talk about is, of course, factions. Now, it's going to be pretty useful to set up your faction ranks just before ranking up. So move them all the way around till you've only got a few points. Then you'll be able to level them up, potentially get some cool gear in packages dropped. And this includes your Crucible and Vanguard factions as well. Try and set them up so that you can level them up pretty easily just after Taken King launches. As you can see, I've got a bit of work to do on many of these factions, to be fair, right here. But that'll be pretty damn useful. You never know what you might get dropped from those reward packages. And the next thing you're going to want to do is max your Vanguard and Crucible marks. Now, as we know, we're going to have legendary marks in the Taken King, so these will all turn into one type of mark, which you'll only have 200 of at a time. But we are having our current marks replaced with commendations when the Taken King comes out. We don't know the exact exchange rate yet, so I don't think you'll be getting 200 commendations for each set of marks that you've got, but maybe you'll get one for every 2 marks, maybe less. We don't know yet, but they will be very useful to dismantle for reputation towards Crucible, Vanguard, or any of the factions. So you may be able to use those bounties you stacked to just skip over the line on the factions that you set up, and then use the commendations that you've got from your marks to go another rank in that faction and maybe get some more gear. So that'll be pretty damn useful to have those kind of leveled up and ready to go. And the very final thing that I wanted to kind of mention, and we don't know the potential uses of this yet, or at least I don't, but Eris. Try and have Eris Rank 4 if possible, or at least max the Eris rank on your main character that you want to be using as much as you can, because we know that Eris is somehow involved in the Taken King. There will be more quests and stuff, and we can assume that higher ranks will give you more stuff when the Taken King comes out. That is just an assumption. We don't know if it gets reset or, you know, anything like that, because it is potentially going to be a level playing field for new players and stuff like that. But that is kind of a few ideas that I've got right there for how to prepare for the Taken King. So hopefully you guys have found this useful. Let me know down below what you think, if you're going to be using any of these methods to help you when the Taken King launches, or if you've got any other really cool methods that you want to share with us, then don't forget to drop them down in the comments, and we'll have a bit of a kind of conversation down below of how we can get ready, because the Taken King is going to be absolutely awesome. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, drop me that comment and a like down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel to see a lot more Destiny content. But for now, you guys have an absolutely awesome week, and I'll catch you very soon. Peace out.